I'm very happy today to be reunited with this little guy. You can see that, Esbit. It's an Esbit stove. Now I'm sure you've all seen these, but I think that this is Esbit from Germany, and I'm pretty sure they invented this. If you know, if I'm wrong, tell me in the comments. But I had this one, and it was an original from World War II. And I had it for years, and I loved it. But then I got into this whole thing where I felt this strange energy, right? That I'm using World War II German gear myself. And I don't know who had that gear, what soldier, was it SS, did they kill Americans and allies? So I got rid of all that stuff. I had tons of clothing and got rid of it all. But I just saw this pop up because I've always had these, but USA versions or the cheap Coleman ones, but they're quite a bit bigger. And I always remembered how killer this little Esbit was. It's so tiny. Look at that. It might be 3.5 inches by 2.5 inches. Ultra lightweight, and the craftsmanship is just beautiful. You can see the rivets, and it's got little stops in it, so it'll stop right here, here, it locks into place. I just remember how beautiful the quality is. But this little stove, or this concept, is what really ignited my passion in everything to do with survival and camping. I had my time, at the time, my best friend, he and I are on motorcycles, and we're traveling, doing construction. We're living on the motorcycles, and we'd be able to live at the job sites. We ended up doing this for 3 years. It was beautiful. And the first time we go out, his dad was military. And so we get out and somewhere, and he goes, or it's the next morning, let's have some coffee, man. And he's got all the killer gear. At the time, I didn't even know, but I'm looking at it, and it was all Alice. He had an Alice pack and the butt pack. Must have all been late 80s issue stuff. So, Vietnam type stuff, LBE, all that. And he pops this thing out, throws in one of these cubes. He shows it to me, and I go, oh, Jesus, something's wrong. Because, it smells like dead fish. Or it smells like a bad night in, downtown Reno. Anyway, so he pops these cubes in and sparks it up. And we're having coffee, so he has, canteen cup and everything, and puts it on, and within 10 minutes, we both had warm, hot water, and I think he had MREs, so he put it in the MRE, and that's just that thing, the stove concept. It wasn't an Esbit, it was a USA military one, but I was hooked. It was the gadget factor, the 007, the fact that we're out, we had taken the motorcycles, had gone down a pathway onto a beach, and we hid the motorcycles, and then we camped out. He had all the gear. But this single little type of stove is what ignited my big time passion in survival stuff. All right, so we got 1 cup of water, and I think it's gonna take 1 entire cube. See, if you see it, look in here, you can see that they're broken up into 4 little pieces. But I'm pretty sure 1 cube brings a cup of water to boil in 8 minutes, if I remember correctly. I wonder if I could just light this on fire, the whole thing, not have to take it out. Let's try it. You never know until you try, right? Let's see what it does. See if the plastic will light. We'll just take it over. Kind of. The issue is it's not going to be a clear all the way around it. Let's see. Will she go? I just want it to be lit all over. We'll see what it does. It looks like it's working. All right, well, let me get out the timer and we'll see. So here goes make sure my guys are open all the way here. Because it kind of locks in place. See, it's got a little retention there. So we'll get our, with the lid. Obviously, I've showed you the cup. This thing's 10 years old, beat to hell. So nothing fits, which is fine. I actually like it that way. All right, we'll see how long this takes to come to a boil. Okay, well, my test failed. Inside of its little case, without opening it up and taking it out, it went out on its own. So I can still salvage this. But hey, now I know. Does it peel away? No, I think you just pop it out here. It's like a candy. And I got the box out of the recycling. So let's start it again. And then I'll show you what I found on the box. All right, there we go for real. This is all non-toxic, so they say. And the wild thing is, I think in Europe, these are now illegal. Is that correct? You guys can tell me in the comments. I think I saw something. Oh, I wonder if it's supposed to go right in that little square. I bet it is. I think these fuel tab things are illegal now. But I found the box. And it says 1 entire cube. Okay, so it's got the 4 little pieces. That's 1 cube. 1 pint equals 8 minutes. So we're going to start this again. And I don't know what a pint is. This is 1 cup. Yeah, it says the Esbit story began in 1936. And I told you that, there's their logo, Esbit. And I told you that I had an original one from World War II. And I loved it. But I'm real weird about having, especially, German World War II stuff that a German soldier was carrying while he was fighting American soldiers and English and the Allies. For me, it's just bad mojo, so I got rid of it. But this is a brand new one from the company, 2026. Love it. Okay, I can hear it starting to bubble. Let's see where we're at here. So we're at 6 minutes and 48 seconds. I can see the lid popping a little. Oh yeah. She's a boiling. It's a real low little boil, but it's bubbling. It's not a roaring simmer, but if I left it on there longer, I'm sure it would be. So how much cube do we have left? There's half a cube left. So I'd call it just about the same. So a pint and a cup must be very similar. So I bet covered 8 minutes, and this wasn't sealed, completely, because it's my Frankenstein. It's just so compact, and there's no, these are great. You can load up on these and have a whole bunch of them. Plus, if the water that you have is already disinfected, then all we're trying to do is warm that water. So I bet at 4 minutes, this was warm. Plus, now I can save this. Not much to save, to tell you the truth. Okay, let's look at the features here. Stable, non-explosive, non-toxic fuel. Burns well at altitude, which can be real important. No cartridges to carry or dispose of. Right, we're talking about the butane, iso, propane, butane. Depending on conditions, 1 large cube, which is what we used, will bring 1 pint of water to boil in 8 minutes. Ignites easily with matches or a lighter. I tried that little lighter trick just to see what would happen. See if I could do it in its little condom. Didn't work. And let's see. Does not spark or smoke. Burns cleanly without residue. Burns at 1300 degrees Fahrenheit. Makes a great fire starter. So that's true. I've used them for that. So all around, it's just a great little tool. I'm happy to be reunited with this little Esbit. And what I love too, if I didn't mention this is the original size that I had. The one from World War II was exactly this, like this. So, you know, it's tiny. Fits in my hand. It might be, I don't know, 3.5 inches long, maybe 4, but I doubt it. So, very cool. You know, you don't have to get this Esbit. This was, I think, $11.99 online. The quality is incredible. You know the Germans and their quality. Incredible stuff. But you can get Coleman ones, knockoffs, but I've had all those and they're just much bigger. You know, the military ones that I had were US military, and it's the same exact concept, but just quite a bit larger. They all work, do the same thing.